Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft Jurassic World Edition. Today, as I said last episode, I believe I said last episode, we are going to be starting a little bit of work on the Visitor Center, but we also have got some dinosaur stuff to do right off the bat. So, where do we want to start with that? Let's start over... Let's see, what was the last thing we hatched? Well, I mean, technically we hatched an ankylosaur and a stegosaur, so what was the last new thing we had? I think that was Nedry. Okay, so what we're gonna do today then, yes, alright. So I'm gonna be hatching a Triceratops today. And I'll do that over here, I guess, because, I brought Dolly and Doser's baby over here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that thing yet. For lag purposes and just general, you know, size of the enclosure and stuff, I think I might be turning breeding off at some point. But for now, I'm gonna leave it as is, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. But as we're starting to move towards the front of the park, so obviously dig site. We made our entryway out here. I was thinking through all the different dinosaurs that are in these mods, and thinking, okay, so where am I going to put all these things? And I've kind of definitely, from the very beginning, kind of thought that maybe, so, you know, up here we've got this big kind of plainsy open area that I probably am going to want to put the Triceratopses up here. And so I think that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to hatch a Triceratops today because we're doing work up here with the visitor center and the entry gate and things like that. So I figure this should probably be kind of the next area that we populate. And we've got Locke and Nessie up here in this pond. And we'll do some work at some point on their area, putting in like some boardwalks or, you know, a dock or, you know, some underwater viewing ports or, you know, something like that. We'll do that kind of stuff for sure. But as I'm thinking through, you know, all these other dinosaurs we've got to put in this park, I think definitely I want to put trikes up here. So I did do some work, and we'll take a look at it, but I extended this path over to this area, and so I'm starting to think about those expansion things a little bit more. Because we have our allosaurs, we've got our stegosaurs, and our ankylosaurs, and our dilophosaurs, and things like that. But we really, you know, there's a lot of dinosaurs in both of these mods. So let me grab actually our Dinopedia really quick. Let me see. 65. Okay, I think we got time. I wanted to also move it. I wanted to also, since we do have, oh, we only have one Dilophosaur DNA. I want to cook up a Dilophosaur as well, because we've got the Dilophosaur pens all built. Now Nedry's getting kind of lonely in there, so I figure we will. We'll cook up a Fossils and Archaeology Dilophosaur to keep him company. And we'll, you know, as we get that pen completely finished, as we've been doing with like the Stegosaurs and the Ankylosaurs and stuff, we'll go ahead and flesh out that population a little bit. But for now, we'll just put a couple in there. But yeah, so let's get this little trike going. 98. Okay, so we're almost there. Oh, look at him! Oh, they've got a new skin. I haven't seen this tan one before. That's attractive. It's a pretty little dude. I like that. Okay, so owner Tortimer, order with a stick. Okay, so just like the ankylosaurs. 0 days old. Needs some food. So let's go ahead and do that. Speaking of which, while I've got you guys' attention here at the beginning, we have got a handful of dinosaurs in the park now. That don't have names yet, and I haven't really been pushing it a ton. I think I've made comments to it here, or... Oh! Well, hey, little guy. You must be on follow, huh? Okay, we'll do melon. We'll do melon, yeah. Alright, come on, little buddy. We gotta get out of the village. Ooh, let me actually... Or not tab, escape, options. Nope, we're still on peaceful. Dang it. April will get mad at me. Hey, come on, buddy. Where's the stick? I accidentally had, oh no. I don't know know why this does this. I even just updated the mod, so I'm not really sure. Not really sure why we're having those kinds of issues. Okay, so he's supposedly on stay, so I'm gonna leave him there for now, and I'll grab a lead. Although we'll probably sleep real quick. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work in my creative world because I kind of put myself in a corner because I said, okay, we're gonna get going on this visitor center, and I really wanted to. I was like, you know, we're kind of at a point where we should probably be getting going on some of that kind of more iconic stuff and blah blah blah, this and this and that. But I had yet to really plan out the visitor center yet. Like, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I had some general ideas, but as far as like, okay, here's my build, I definitely hadn't gotten that far yet. Come on, little guy. Oh, he's so cute. What a little baby! I definitely hadn't gotten that far yet, and so I've been spending a lot of time in my creative world playing with different ideas, and I've put up 3 or 4 full-size different renditions of this thing, and I think I finally have found one that is gonna work for me. I mean, all of them were pretty decent, but I just, you know, I'd get like almost done with it and be like, you know what, there's just, I've played around with that particular design a lot, and I've just been like, you know what, I'm not getting it to a place where I'm really happy with it. So start over, be like, well, let's try this, and so I've been playing around a lot. But yeah, so that's why I think the last 2 episodes, April made a comment on it, I think the last 2 episodes I was on peaceful mode, even though I generally play on normal. Yeah, so I've got it switched back now. We are on normal, so there should be mob spawning again eventually. But yeah, I love this new texture. It used to be like just like primary, like bright yellow or bright green or white. I don't remember how many variations there were. I do watch, like, one of the people I watch largely is Poet for dinosaur stuff, but he does like custom texture pack stuff with his dinosaurs. So he goes into like the models and he's like, oh well, I want my plesiosaurs to be blue, so he messes with stuff. So I don't even necessarily, this could have been brown a long time, I guess, but I haven't noticed it. But I love this. Such a cute little dude. But yeah, so I think I started saying, and I kind of got off track. Make sure you guys, we've got several dinosaurs. We've got that little trike now. We've got Spike's JurassiCraft girlfriend, the Stegosaurus. Okay, well we'll go over there. Okay, so we've got this little trike. I don't know if I really need a name. I'm not gonna probably waste a name tag on Dolly and Doser's little girl, but if you guys want to name her, you can. I probably just won't use a name tag because they're kind of a pain to get. We definitely, for all the ones that are going to be in the enclosures, we want names for. So Clifford's got a name. We need a name for the yellow. We need a name for the yellow stegosaur down there, and Doser's little JurassiCraft girlfriend. So with you can see the little lady probably down there. Blends in most of it. You can see her brown plates there. So she needs a name, as well as the yellow one. We do need a name for the JurassiCraft Ankylosaur. It turns out this one is a female, so we need a name for her, as well as if you want to propose names for her mate, we may, I don't know if I've got any more 100% Ankylosaur JurassiCraft DNA or not, but if we do, maybe we'll see if we can get her a little boyfriend for that. And then Nedry's got a name. Oh, wait, that actually reminds me. We need to go pick up that Dilophosaur DNA, or the egg that we were cooking. I didn't get a note that it had failed, so we should be just fine. Let's see. Oh no! Okay, we survived. Woohoo! Sorry, Casper, didn't mean to scare you. Okay, so let's see. This looks like it's probably done. All right, so we've got the Dilophosaur DNA there, and I probably really should. My herbivores have been pretty well keeping themselves maintained because they can eat grass and flowers and things like that to feed themselves. But the carnivores, like I checked in on Clifford earlier, and he was like less than half health or whatever. So I was like, oh crap, I forgot that I probably need to be checking in on these guys a little more frequently because they don't have the ability to feed themselves. And I'm thinking probably for the carnivores, gonna rig up some sort of Animal farms something. I know if they try to eat babies, they don't get any health back. Obviously, because they don't get anything from killing animals. All the health they get is from eating the meat that they drop. And obviously, baby animals don't drop any meats. So it's we need to rig up something. I lured a couple of pigs in there and had bred them. And he ate a couple of them, and then he got full. So as long as there's animals in there, they will feed themselves. He'll see that animal, and he'll be like, all right, so let's go eat this thing. And so that'll work out pretty nicely for him. But we've got to figure out how we want to play that out exactly. And if I can figure out a way to, like, if I can set up like an automatic chicken farm or something. Clifford, you're going a little far for me, buddy. Here, let's, there you go, land. If we can figure out a way to do an automatic chicken farm where we can only let adult chickens come out, you know, get a little water stream or something that, like, you know, pushes them out into the enclosure, I think that'd probably be the best. But we got to figure out a way to do that with just like where we only adults can get fed in. All right, so let's quickly. We've got this Dilophosaurus, Nedry's over here. Let's put this little guy right there. Got some torches down. There we go. So I did a little bit of work while this guy's hatching. You guys can tell in the overviewer map here. So we've got all these green dots in Clifford's enclosure now over with the Allosaurs. Those are all the little leaf blocks from where I put in-ground lighting. So there's no torches in here anymore. I still need to do that over in the Dilophosaurs, but like the Ankylosaurs and the Stegosaurs are all done with that. So we're moving along. I've got to get this going, and we want to do a little more work in both of these enclosures to get them a little more finished. You know, putting in trees and other, you know, tailoring it for those specific species. And so I'm pretty much done and completely happy with both the Stegosaurs and Ankylosaurs at this point. But these two, we've got a little more work to do, and we'll be doing that for sure here in a bit. All right, so there's our Dinopad, or Pedia, 41%. I think that, well, I don't want to mess with it now because I'm not certain, but I think I was playing around earlier, and I think I recently updated both of the mods. There was a minor revision to Fossils and Archaeology, and then there was a handful of minor revisions to JurassiCraft since the last time I've updated. And so I think there was probably, they weren't full revisions, so I'm assuming they were just bug fixes, things like that. I didn't take time to go look at all the changelogs, but they were both recommended releases, so I figured I would take a look at them. And I did that, and it didn't mess up the world, so I was like, okay, great, perfect. I think I tested the Dinopad earlier, and I think it might not be glitched anymore. So that would be nice. That would be really nice, because I don't understand why it's so glitched. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because like just the mechanics behind it, I don't understand why it would be that way. But you know, I'm not the programmer. I won't complain too much, I guess. But I think they might have gotten it figured out, which would be nice. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Nedry is awesome. I'm hoping that we can get him another little a lady friend. We may have to be creative with how we do that, in the sense that if we kill, I was doing some testing in a creative world, kind of seeing, okay, how many dinosaurs are even in these mods, kind of trying to get a feel for, okay, exactly what's here. Oh, it's so cute. I do have, I was looking in the new config, because every time I update, at least Fossils and Archaeology, I delete the config, so that it'll generate a new one in case there's new things in the config that we need to be worried about, the configuration file. And I noticed that they added feathers to the Dilophosaurs, and I looked at it in creative and I was like, you know what, that's kind of cool looking. I don't know, although I guess in Ark, the Dilophosaurs have lots of quills and stuff, so I don't know if they keep making new discoveries, like, oh, this one had feathers too, or whatever. I don't know, because it seems like they keep adding ones like periodically. It's like, I don't know if that, I don't know the reasoning behind it. I know that people think that lots of dinosaurs had feathers nowadays, so whatever. But yeah, so let's take a look at this one. 0 days, we need to feed him. Okay, is tamed, perfect. Order with a bone. Okay, so let's grab this. Well, actually, let's hold on to the steak. Use this chicken up first. Okay. Okay. Grown boy. There we go. Alright, so he is full. We gotta get a bone out here. Free move. Perfect. Alrighty. Because I don't want him teleporting around the park either. But yeah, so, on top of... We have 2 stegosaurs, a triceratops, an ankylosaur, and now a dilophosaurus that's going to need a name. I could always name this guy. I think the other name I had come up with was, you know, we were going to name this guy Nedry or Newman, but somebody's like, well, name one Nedry and one Newman. So we may name one Newman. But if you guys have other suggestions, feel free to let me know. This one almost looks like a little girl. Obviously, I know there's no genders in fossils and archaeology, but that one, it's cute. I love the little babies. But yeah. Okay, so, perfect. Now, let's, we'll head out here. I haven't yet put in the employee access to this enclosure. I've got to, do a bit of terraforming because this path kind of dead ends into this hill here. It's kind of like a mudslide or something happened. But I gotta decide what I'm gonna do. I either need to, well, no, I probably am gonna have to just clear this out, and then we'll put an entry over on the other side there. I probably won't be doing like a big viewing area in this one, just because the landscape doesn't really allow for it, as well as like the stegosaur and because I didn't really do much terraforming for this. I kind of just cleared out the wall that was there and put glass in and cleared out inside the mountain a little bit. And same with the stegosaur. So it doesn't allow for it as well. Yeah, so some work needs to go on there. And again, as I said before, I extended this path a little bit. I've just been harvesting, you know, this stuff off camera pretty much every time between episodes. So I add a little bit more every time. And I've kind of extended this out. I probably will do some sort of bridge, something built around it. But what I'm gonna be doing is I've got to plan out what I want the bridge in the front to look like. This bridge here from the entry gate, this bridge across the water towards the visitor center. I'm gonna plan that one out, and then I'll kind of use that same design throughout the park, or at least a variation of that design. So I've got this out here. Pretty much anywhere where the path is not in the ground. Hey! Do I have hostile mobs? No. I can hear him now. Didn't hear him approach at all. Stealthy little zombie. Yeah. So anywhere where the road or the path is not there we go, is not in the ground and is kind of floating in the air, we'll have some sort of bridge to support it. I know Minecraft doesn't really have physics a whole lot, but you know, we're going to try and be as realistic as we can. So that brings us to we've got the Dilophosaur hatched, we've got the Trike hatched. I think that's all I wanted to do for today. Let's jump back on Casper, and we will fly on over to the visitor center. I had to do a bit of terraforming over here, so we can see like this mountain it used to connect up here. It was pretty flimsy right there. Well, no, it wasn't actually. I kind of ate away so much. Like pretty much everywhere you see stone, there was mountains. So I've been spending a lot of time clearing that out in order to accommodate the visitor center here. And I'm gonna drop Clifford off over here under the arch. We'll check on. Check over here. Is this Locke or is this Nessie? They both look pretty big now. So it looks like Locke growed up on us. Who we got? This is Nessie. Hey, girl. I haven't gotten any notifications that they've done any breeding yet. I guess we'll check. I don't know how old Locke is yet. I did spend some time in world messing with the visitor center stuff. So, yeah, this is Nessie, 13 days old. So definitely full grown there. It seems to be kind of 12 days old is kind of the full grown marker. At least that's what it ended up being, seeming like with the ankylosaurs, 10 to 12 days. So I don't know if that's the same for all species, because, yeah, I mean, Nessie grew up pretty quick too, but he seems about the same size. So some species must just grow quicker. Okay, so many mobs around. Maybe I should just play in peaceful. I don't know why. Oh good, I'm out of arrows. Awesome. I don't know why I want mobs around, but whatever. You guys let me know if you guys have a preference, I guess. Yeah. So let's jog over here. I want to kind of show you where the visitor center is going. You guys have probably gotten a pretty decent look at it already via like the map and stuff like that. But so we come through. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll go to the other side of the entry gate, and I'll kind of walk through, kind of give you guys a feel for how this will end up looking. So you walk through the entry gate here. You get this majestic landscape behind it. Oh gosh, all the zombies everywhere. And then you've got this beautiful lake, and then there's mountains here. And in between this mountain range here, I'm going to be popping my visitor center down. So you come across this bridge. You'll come up a few stairs here, I think is my current plan. In the water, where you can't do anybody any harm. And I've been doing a lot of terraforming. You guys will remember, and you can still pretty much see. You know, we had this bay here and things like that. And I was kind of hoping to. I was originally thinking maybe, well, I'll just build like support struts or whatever down there to kind of hold up the front. But like, this is going to be a pretty decently sized building. And I just figured that would look weird. You know, a little fishing house, sure, we can put, you know, just put it on posts or whatever, but I figured it would just end up looking more weird than anything if I did something like that for this big of a structure. And so I'm just going to be ending up terraforming out a bit. Let me make sure my lighting is, yeah, we're on bright. Alright, but, so I figured we'll do a little bit of terraforming today. I've kind of changed the design a little bit since I started terraforming, doing a little bit, trying to figure out how it would work out. Again, like I said, I built like 3 or 4, you know, different designs pretty much to completion in my creative world. So I was spending a lot of time doing that the last couple of weeks, but I think I finally decided, this one is obviously just a big square, and the overall footprint of this build is going to be pretty square. Just in general, but you know, I tried doing other things like you know, I was gonna do an octagon and some other things, you know, to kind of, I don't know, differentiate it a bit. And I didn't want to do just like, you know, a lot of people who do these dinosaur series, you'll see them do basically, you know, they just recreate, you know, block for block, you know, one of the Jurassic Park visitor centers, which I don't have any problem with that. But a lot of people have done that already, and obviously it was in the movies, so there's nothing really creative there anymore that I can really, you know, do anything with. And at the same time, it's just kind of a you know, a thing where I wanted to do something that would be a little special for this park, a little more iconic for this particular series, things like that. And so I've planned out something else. You know, I talked to you guys before when we were doing the archway, that I kind of, you know, some of my build style in this series is going to be kind of inspired by my time earlier this year that my wife and I spent in Puerto Rico. I just figured that kind of style would lend itself well to this kind of park, given that, you know, like the original Jurassic Park was in Costa Rica, and so, you know, having some of that Hispanic kind of influence in build style, I figured would be kind of cool. And so largely what that's going to translate to for us is going to just be a much more prominent use of color and things like that in our builds, because, you know, so much of their architecture and things like that, you walk around their cities, like you go to San Juan or, you know, things like that, and creeper, and it, you know, all the buildings, you know, they're just cement buildings because, you know, hurricane code and things like that. Down there, you pretty much have to, but they paint them all so colorfully that it's very, very, you know, very bright and happy and uplifting and things like that when you see it. So they make the best out of, you know, having to use some pretty dull materials, and so it's a very just nice style. And so I wanted to kind of bring that into this too, because, you know, so much of Minecraft, half the materials are stone, which, you know, are all just gray. They don't even have like variations of gray, or there's no brown worked into it. They're not even really good like representations of like natural stone necessarily, and so many builds end up being like wood or gray, and you know, lots of my builds too, like on Far Side or whatever, where I had my big base, it was all just, you know, gray and woody and things like that. So it's you know, I wanted to do something with some more color, kind of in that Hispanic style. So you know, obviously the Jurassic Park ones are you know, basically white with a roof. And so I wanted to do something that would be a little more colorful and kind of fit better into the theme that I'm trying to do. So that's one reason why I'm differentiating. And we are going to be largely inspired by the Jurassic, actually the Jurassic World one. Pretty much since I saw the first trailer, I really liked that visitor center. And so I'm going to be, excuse me, I'm going to be taking some different aspects from that particular build. You know, some things that I really liked in terms of its style and things like that, but you know, we're not going to be trying to recreate it block for block for sure, and not even really close. Basically, the only thing we're going to be taking from that is going to be the pyramid kind of atrium over it, but the rest of the build is going to be completely different. And basically, you know, I really like the glass atrium sort of look. And I figured that, you know, well, we'll kind of do this our own sort of thing with the style of the actual building, but I figured that would be a nice way we could do a callback to the canon you know, visitor centers. Okay, so this is a little too straight. I'll have to play with that, but at least this thing's on solid ground now. And I'm going to be playing with this a lot. I definitely, you know, I've been doing the same thing over in my Pixelmon series, which if you guys haven't checked out, be sure to do so. But you know, I'm doing a lot of terraforming over there too for like my gym, to make sure that it's on, you know, solid ground and things like that. So I've been doing, and I've done a lot of terraforming in my time on Minecraft, or my time playing Minecraft. So I'm pretty decent at it at this point. And so, you know, you kind of get the base laid in, and then you've got to go back and you've got to, you know, take things out, add things here and there, just to make it look natural, because nothing looks worse than like just a sheer-faced cliff or, you know, a box, you know. So if I just basically, you know, came one block out and had a straight wall of dirt, or, I mean, it just, you want it to look natural, you want it to blend into the landscape. Because, you know, this landscape is so majestic. Even with, you know, I was taking out these, I had to take out some of these mountains a bit. Like I said, I think pretty much everywhere you're seeing stone, for the most part, had been a mountain at some point. And that may be no, I think that's probably pretty much right. And so, you know, now we've got an opening here, which I actually really like. It's less disconnected from the rest of the park. I can see the, you know, the Dilophosaurs right through there, etc. And so I've still got to figure out how I'm going to get the path over here. Chances are it's probably gonna, I'll probably put a path through this ravine. It's not really a ravine, but it's basically a mountain, you know, above ground ravine. And so we might do that with a tunnel through one of these mountains to get back, or we can do something that, you know, branches off from in front. I guess we still kind of have to figure out some of those details, but it'll be something that, you know, as we get this in there. It'll be nice that this is a little less cut off, because really before that there wasn't really anything there. But, you know, even with like this, I did some work trying to make this look a little more natural, as opposed to like this I still need to do something with, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, because honestly we've got like one block in between, you know, the edge of the boundary of the thing and this wall here, so I don't really have any room to like fade it in at all. But we'll do something, and maybe once we get the visitor center actually in, it won't really be something we need to worry about, but in the sense that like the visitor center will just take up so much space that it just doesn't even matter, you can't see it, and any work we would do would just be kind of wasted anyway. Ooh, hey Skelly. But yeah. Oh, wow, I gotta eat some too. Need your arrows. No, I don't need bones. Got so many bones. Ooh, we're getting low on potatoes. That's probably our cue. So, and the time's looking good. But yeah, so I'm doing some terraforming here. I wanted to bring you guys in in a, you know, kind of the middle of the process a bit, just because I don't want to necessarily do tons of like all the building with you guys. Like we spent the first half of this episode hatching dinosaurs and stuff. I didn't make you, you know, I don't want to make you guys spend lots of time with this kind of stuff. But I also don't want to like come back one week and be like, hey, you know, this is the visitor center. You guys haven't seen any step of it, and it's just here, and let me show you around for 5 minutes. Like, I want you guys to be a part of the process without having to suffer through all the little minutia. And obviously, terraforming this is gonna end up being some minutia, and I'll get that figured out. I'll get that finished before next episode, and we'll probably get going on laying in some of the stuff. I'll at least kind of get you guys some idea of what we're gonna be doing with this. As well as probably doing some stuff maybe with the Dilophosaur enclosure or something like that. Maybe we'll lay in kind of where we maybe want to put the trikes. I guess I kind of have to figure out... I left Casper over by the entryway. That's fine. He'll be okay. But let's go and check on, speaking of the Dilophosaurs, let's go check on our new little babies, and then we'll call it a day. Because again, I just don't want to waste too much of your guys' time with all that terraforming stuff. Especially because I kind of actually enjoy it. I'll pop on some Netflix and I'll just crank it out. Because I like messing with it until it looks right. Okay, so this little baby is little and it was kind of grass colored. Kind of like the JurassiCraft one. So let's, oh, it's hanging out over here with Nedry. Awesome. Okay, so we got the Dinopedia right here. Still 0 days. Let me see if he'll eat any more steak before I take off. He's pretty close to full, so no, there he goes. And Nedry, you want any, bud? That's a good boy. It was funny, I was watching Poet's most recent episode. Well, not his most recent one, but I was watching a recent episode of Poet's. And he had updated the mod, and he hadn't updated JurassiCraft in some time. You're not gonna eat that? Okay, I'm gonna take it with me. He hadn't upgraded JurassiCraft in some time, basically since before we updated and we lost Spike. He hadn't updated since then. And so he updated his mod, and so a lot of his dinosaurs disappeared, all his DNAs disappeared, just like it did with us. But some of his dinosaurs actually didn't disappear. He has a Dilophosaur that named, I think, Gizmo or something, and Gizmo didn't disappear, but it did like wipe the ownership of him, so it didn't recognize Poet as owner. So Poet went in to check on the Dilophosaurs, or I think he went in to check on Gizmo specifically because a lot of his dinosaurs had disappeared, and he wanted to, you know, he was checking on what the JurassiCraft ones that still existed. Oh my God, it's another baby! You guys are just machines. I'll have to deal with that. In fact, let's since we're kind of towards the end of the episode anyway, let's get the dino pad out. And let's check on this girl. I think somebody said she was a girl. Yeah, female. So I'm guessing that's why she's kind of a more gray color. Generally in the wild, the females tend to be less colorfully plumed, or less just, you know, less ornate than the males do, for whatever reason. It's kind of backwards in humans, but for whatever reason, so that makes sense. The male must be the more brownish one that I remember seeing in the past. Oh, another little baby. How you doing, bud? Probably will need to turn off taming or breeding at some point. I didn't get any notice that these two had put an egg down, or that a dinosaur had hatched. Maybe I was just out of range, but okay, all right. So we've got to check now. We want to run back and check on our little trike, and then we will probably call it a day. But yeah, so these guys are all doing good. Let's see. There's Spike. Yeah, we need a name for this yellow one. Where's the other one? I don't know. I'm sure she's around somewhere. Let's quickly go, though. We'll check on the little trike, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so let's put this thing back. Let's fill our... No, okay, it's still glitched. Alright, well, whatever. Fix your game, guys. Seriously. This JurassiCraft DinoPad thing has been happening for ages. Ages and ages and ages, and it really, I mean, come on. Figure that bug out. It can't be that hard to do. I mean, there's things in the programming that are causing it. be programmers and check it out. I mean, I don't want to get like angry about it, but come on. As a programmer, it's kind of like just, okay, come on, figure your code out, guys. Take a minute, quit adding features, fix the game you've already got, and then move on. Anyway, sorry, but the trike's looking good. Looking good. 0 days still, not real hungry, so that works out nicely. But yeah, so remember, guys, we need names. Names for the trike, names for the new Dilophosaur. We need names for, we got 2 Stegosauruses and an Ankylosaur that need names as well. And I kind of really like Dolly and Doser, because their names are kind of similar. You know, a Doser, you know, bulldozer. A Dolly is also an apparatus that is used to move things around. So I kind of really like that. So if you guys want us to do, I'm not saying you've got to do the same thing like for the new Ankylosaurs. I'm not saying, okay, well, you know, this one needs to be a bobcat or something. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But like, if you want to make like at least within the pairings kind of similar. Oh yeah, I was cooking up some more iron that I had mined up. May do some another fossil run here at some point too, because I think there are some dinosaurs in both mods potentially that I don't have any DNA for. So I'd like to go do another fossil run at some point. We need to get some food. Let's munch a little bit on this steak. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure, again, give me some names. You guys have given me some great names for some of the other dinosaurs, so I'd love to hear your guys' input on those other ones. We got 2 Stegosaurs. You know, we need a mate for the dino pad being glitchy. Okay, so I'm not gonna touch anything until I log off again. So we need another mate. We need the female JurassiCraft Stegosaur is a mate for Spike. So if you guys want to do kind of a similar name for Spike, I know I was looking into it. You know, I think there was a female Stegosaur in the Land Before Time. So if we want to use, you know, okay, we'll give Spike's mate, you know, the other Land Before Time name, or you know, whatever you guys want to do. I don't want to influence it. If you guys don't want to keep, you know, themes together with the different dinosaurs, you don't have to. I don't care all that much. But yeah, just come up with some cool names. You know, I'm not real partial to names, you know, like, oh, we'll just name him Jerry, like just like regular person names. I'm not real big on that. I think that, you know, these are dinosaurs. Let's get some cooler names in here. But you know, if it's a reference to something, that's awesome. I love referential names. And just cool, unique names are fun. So give it some thought. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys back here next time. Again, 2 Stegosaurs, an Ankylosaur. So we have a female Stegosaur, a gender-neutral Stegosaur, a female Ankylosaur, and a general-neutral Triceratops and Dilophosaur. All need names. So let's get those names flowing here, folks. And yeah, we'll be back next time. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do some tinkering with some stuff. You know, we may even, if we're gonna start work on the visitor center, we may need to make a run out to the mesa to collect some clay. Maybe I'll do that before we start recording. I don't know, but we're doing it twice a week now, so we'll see. It seems like we've had good support, by the way, from the 2 episodes that went up last week. So that works out pretty well. So yeah, just keep that up. I appreciate all the likes and views and all that. Make sure you guys leave comments on which dinosaurs you want named what. And I'll see you guys back here next time. As always, I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.